what are the 5 things I wish I knew about being a girl dad? And especially going into it. I think there's a lot of guys out there that are listening that, just had their gender reveal party and it's a girl. And it's like, yeah, I think, we talked about earlier, like you may be bummed. You may want a boy, but what I'm here to tell you is that girl is the best thing that will ever happen to you, period. And really the 3 things to kind of summarize up what I feel. Um, you know, you're going to be her first love. She's going to love you differently than your wife,
Yeah.
period. And she is going to look up to you. You're going to be the first man that she loves. And one of the songs I remember when Adam was young, I turn on the TV randomly and I'd never watch any music word shows or anything, but it was Camila Cabela, and she had sung the song First Love or First Man, I think it is. And I started crying. And I'm holding Adeline. Kelly's at work. I'm like, oh my God, like this is incredible. And Adeline was a little baby at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I just at that point, I never had that type of emotional like reaction to it, but I still to this day will just like, wow, because it's about, you'll talk about that, like the first love that she has away from us, which is the scariest thing for any dad out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, the first love, the little moments matter most. Versus boys, I mean, that couldn't be more truthful at the end of the day. I mean, those little moments go so far. The lemonade stand, the coloring,
Mm-hmm.
I even had my nails painted a couple months ago, and it was well worth every look I got in the grocery store. It's just they love that more and more. And really, the third and final thing, you're going to be her hero. Kind of going back to the first love, they're going to look up to you in a different way. You're going to be their protector. Um, you're going to be their everything, and you don't know it yet, but that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And how crazy is that?
Yeah, I think about that a lot. I think we've touched on this in the past, but and this goes for really raising all your kids, but I always try to keep in mind of, especially with my daughter, of showing the love that love should be right in the house, like painting that picture so that she understands hopefully what she should aspire for and want to have in her life, because I feel like if that is lacking, then things can get out of hand and they don't quite know what true love looks like. And so that's something that I try to be intentional about. And it's not having make out sessions, with which we love to do, babe, not, in front of the kids is never going to happen, but like saying goodbye to everybody, giving everybody a kiss, making sure mom gets a kiss, like just showing some of those things, coming home from work each day, like doing that and just trying to show some of those things. Cause I think that does, and I may be totally wrong, but I do think, as your daughter's looking up to you as a hero, they're looking at those pieces too of what love looks like in a household, because they're going to be searching for that one day too. And we've all heard it, sometimes it's guys marry their mother and, daughters marry their dads, right? Like you hear that in society from time to time, and who you end up with and how that kind of mimics into your life. And
What would you guys say to new dads out there?
Be their knight in shining armor. My uncle gave me a book that was like, I think it was titled that or something like that. And it was just like, you need to be, and we kind of already touched on this a little bit, like you need to be the example for everything. So how you treat your wife, your work ethic, what you do around the house, all of those things, like they see you and they observe you and they're going to exactly mimic that. And if you think that they're going to go out and find somebody that's completely different than you, I mean, there's a chance that could happen, but more than likely they're going to go out and try to find a man that is just like you. So you are essentially behaving the way that your future son-in-law or whatever is how they're going to be. So take that into consideration. It's difficult sometimes, but being their knight in shining armor, it's just, they're, especially at a young age, you are everything to them. So be that everything, that's,
I love that.
Yeah. It's incredibly rewarding too, especially when you're doing it right. My wife and I have an awesome relationship, and like I'm not afraid to show affection and all of that stuff. And my daughter sees it. I know I do it purposely. So she sees it and she sees exactly how I treat my wife.